Hi, welcome to part 2 of our drill press table build. Got the tabletop all glued up, let it set overnight, and I came back and cleaned up the edges. Now that's an optional part to this. I had the glue that seeped out over the edges and I actually cut my pieces a little bit bigger so I can go back and clean it up. I have nice clean edges. I got this milled down to 20 by 32, and then I built a small jig using mainly pocket screws, and I'll be able to keep this if I ever need to build another one. Essentially what we're going to do next is we're going to do a little bit of template routing for the replaceable insert so that we can put a piece of 1/4 inch MDF over top of our hole. And to do that I'm going to use a bushing and a small straight bit on my router, and I've already gone ahead and set my depth so we can go ahead and mill this out and put in our replaceable insert into our table. Alright, I was able to get 4 out of that one strip of 1/4 inch MDF. And as you can see, you got a nice tight fit in there. Replaceable insert, as that one gets worn out, you'll be able to replace them with another one. Just keep those over by your drill press. Alright, so now I'm going to go on and show you how to lay out the track system so that we can put in our hold downs. Okay, so the next step in this process is to get some of our track laid in for our hold downs and for our eventual fence. I'm going to be using some of these hold downs. There's going to be 2 different sizes. I have some for the underside, and then I have some for the top. These are some mini hold downs that I got from Rockler, and then I also have some that I got from Eagle America, both good companies that you can get quality hold downs from. I bought a 48-inch section of aluminum track that can take a 1/4-20 bolt. You can find most of the jig and fixture stuff plus 1/4-20 bolts you can find at your local hardware store. And one of the reasons why I made mine the way I did, a 20 by 32, is sometimes I have bigger pieces that I'm drilling. But the other reason is once I found a 48-inch piece of track, my goal here was to get 2 sections of track so that I can put a fence on there. So I'll have a 20-inch section of track running this way and one on the other side running this way. You can see those by the marks. Then I'm going to have 8 inches left, so I wanted to make sure I could utilize that, and every now and then I'm drilling smaller pieces. So I actually placed a marking here 9 inches from the back, really close to where my center point's going to be, so that I can put a hold down on this piece of track to hold down those smaller pieces that get close to the drill bit, or if I just need an extra section. So with that extra 8-inch section, I'm going to route out a place here for another piece of track. So the way I'm going to do this, I have a 3/4 inch bit in my router. I don't have it closed or set up yet. I have a homemade jig so that I can route 3/4 inch material and just line up my straight edge with where I'm going to be routing. So the next step is I'm going to set my depth for this, and then I'm going to route out those track sections. I did mine in 2 passes, and that's where the track system is going to go. We'll attach that in. I made sure my depth was enough that it's a little bit below flush. That way, in case you put a piece on, it's not going to tilt it back and forth. One word of caution, when you're working with MDF, it does generate a lot of dust. Make sure you have your respirator on and dust collection system, and then I also have my air purifier going. If it's a nice day, take this project outside and work with the MDF. It'll certainly make the job a little cleaner. So let's finish up. I'll finish up routing the other grooves. Okay, as you can see, I got all of my 3/4 inch grooves routed. Now it's time to take a hacksaw. We're going to cut these down. I need 2 sections at 20 inches, and then I'm going to make sure my last section is 8 inches. We'll go ahead and get those attached to the tabletop. Before you screw these down to your tabletop, come back and lightly file down your edges to get rid of those burrs from cutting. Okay, I got my track all cut, got it in position. Now I'm going to come back with some number 6 1-inch screws and drive this home. I have my drill right here, so I'm going to go ahead and drill a pilot hole for these. Go ahead and drill this all down into place. Come back and put in my centerpiece. One thing to note about the design that I have here, with this middle track piece touching both side tracks, you are going to need to grind out or cut out a place to put your clamp or another 1/4-20 fixture on there. If you just put it into place like this, there's no way to get the 1/4-20 bolt on your track system. You could notch out here, you could stop these shorter to allow that to slide in, but I wanted to keep these in continuous rail. So all I did was notch out here in the end, and now my 1/4-20 bolt can slide in there just fine. Okay, so we're over here at the drill press. Got everything finished up top. Now the idea behind the way I'm doing this attachment, and yours might be completely different. For mine, I have a round table on my drill press already. So I'm going to use one of these larger hold down clamps available from Eagle, and I'm going to use a 1/4-20 bolt, and I'm going to put a threaded insert into the bottom of my MDF. I'm going to use 2 of these larger ones, and I'm going to bolt this down to the table, but it'll be easy for me if I ever need to take it apart. So what I need to do now is place these. I'm going to put one on either side of the table, and there is a lot of ability in here for these to adjust and move around. So I'm just going to roughly mark the location of these with my pencil, and then we'll be able to go back to the table, drill these holes, and put our threaded inserts into the bottom of my MDF. So let's go ahead and mark these. Well, with the top attached, that completes this build. This is a great shop upgrade. I hope you give this a try in your shop. You might not have to build one quite as big as this one, but I'm definitely going to enjoy working on this much larger drill press surface. The hold downs are going to be nice. I'll be able to secure material and keep my hands safe, just to increase my safety here in the shop. I hope you've enjoyed this build. I know this is a really nice add-on to my shop. I'm happy I was able to finish this. Hopefully you learned a trick or two. Let me know how you do. Send me pictures of what you've finished. Check us out online at www.aframewoodworking.com. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter. You can also find some of our stuff up on Pinterest and Instagram. Take care. Good luck in your next woodworking project.